The Dallas Mavericks are in absolute chaos right now, and if you've been paying attention, you already know it. From the top to the bottom, everything about this franchise screams dysfunction. And at the center of it all, Cooper Flagg, a player with all the tools to be generational, stuck in a nightmare scenario that seems designed to test every ounce of his talent and mental toughness. Because here's the thing, in just 11 games, this 18-year-old phenom has already been asked to do the impossible. He started the season as the team's point guard, the orchestrator of Dallas's offense, and now he's been shuffled to power forward. One night he's running the offense with no clear playmaker around him, the next he has D'Angelo Russell in charge, and now Brandon Williams. It's chaos. Absolute chaos. If someone had tried to design the hardest possible introduction to the NBA for a rookie, they couldn't have done a better job than the Mavericks front office and coaching staff have done to Cooper Flagg. And yet, despite all this, Cooper is thriving in moments where no one thought he could. After what many are calling the worst trade in recent NBA memory, Dallas somehow landed a player with generational potential. And instead of nurturing that talent, the franchise seems determined to make his first season a trial by fire. Every game, every possession, is a test of patience and resilience. But here's the catch, Cooper Flagg is simply too talented to fail. He is 6'9", lightning quick with ball handling and playmaking skills that very few players in NBA history have ever shown at this age. Watching him against Milwaukee is a perfect example. In that matchup, he was arguably the second best player on the floor, dropping 26 points, grabbing 8 rebounds, dishing out 4 assists, and racking up 3 steals. But the numbers barely tell the story. Watch him when he brings the ball up against Giannis. He freezes him with a single dribble, blows past him, draws the help defense, avoids the charge like it's nothing, and then threads a perfect lob to his big man. Plays like that are what made Jason Kidd gamble on starting him at point guard in the first place. Cooper isn't just tall, he's a nightmare mismatch, someone who can dribble, pass, and finish at a level most rookies can't even dream of. But here's the reality. Running an entire NBA offense? That's another story. Making a few highlight plays off the dribble is one thing. Leading a team that is struggling, mismanaged, and completely disjointed? That's a mountain no rookie should have to climb. And yet, somehow, Cooper Flagg is standing tall at the summit, showing flashes of brilliance that remind us just how special he could be, even in a team that's otherwise completely broken. And it wasn't just that ridiculous pass down the stretch that had everyone talking. Cooper Flagg was delivering in every critical moment. Take the final 2 minutes of the game, with the Mavericks trailing by a single point. Cooper gets the switch onto Rollins, explodes into his chest, and floats in a bucket as if it's the easiest thing in the world. But the very next possession? Oh, this is where it gets insane. He brings the ball up the floor, Christie slips the screen, and Cooper spins off Gary Trent Jr. With Giannis crashing over to help, Cooper somehow hangs in midair and finishes at the rim, absorbing contact like he's done it 1,000 times before. Plays like these aren't just highlights, they are statements. They tell you exactly what kind of player he is. Fearless, creative, and unstoppable when he trusts his instincts. Watching him in that game, you got the unmistakable feeling that whenever Cooper had the ball, something spectacular was going to happen. His handle looked sharper than ever. His confidence radiated. Every move screamed assertiveness and precision. When faced with a smaller defender, he attacked with his raw physicality, bullying his way inside. When matched up with a bigger, slower player, he shifted gears with speed and finesse, slicing through the defense like a seasoned veteran. For a rookie, it was almost a perfect performance. Every decision, every drive, every pass screamed potential. And yet, the Mavericks still lost. Why? Because even when Cooper is performing like a future superstar, the team around him is holding him back. In the third quarter, the Mavericks finally hit a few threes, building a lead that hinted at a professional-level offense. But in the fourth, they went ice cold, hitting just 1 of 10 from beyond the arc, while the Bucks knocked down 5 threes in the same stretch. And that is the crux of Dallas's problems. This isn't just a minor flaw, it's a franchise-wide issue. In a league dominated by three-point shooting, the Mavericks rank dead last in the NBA for three-point percentage. Second worst? Indiana. That's how glaring the deficiency is. The team is essentially handicapping its own star player, forcing Cooper to perform miracles in an offense that refuses to space the floor or shoot at an NBA standard rate. Now imagine what Cooper could do with just a little breathing room. A team that spaces the floor, hits open shots, and allows him to attack the rim freely. Imagine pairing him with an average, competent point guard. Not Kyrie Irving, not Steph Curry, just someone who can orchestrate the offense without causing chaos. Cooper's numbers immediately prove the difference. Look at his efficiency with D'Angelo Russell on the floor versus off the floor. Look at Brandon Williams' impact. Even with their efforts, Cooper's talent shines, and yet the limitations of his teammates are undeniable. DLO isn't a bad player, but there's a reason he's been on 4 teams in 3 years and why he signed a $6 million backup-level deal. He isn't a floor general. He isn't the type of player to unlock a generational talent like Cooper. So here's the reality. Cooper Flag isn't failing. The Mavericks are failing him. And even in this dysfunctional environment, he is already showing flashes of what could be a historically elite NBA career. But just imagine what would happen if the team around him actually matched his talent. That's the kind of performance and dominance fans are craving. And if the Mavericks ever put the pieces together, the league better be ready. And this is where we have to cut Jason Kidd a little bit of slack. Let's be real, he's stuck trying to make D'Angelo Russell work as the team's primary playmaker. And the truth is, DLO just isn't built for this role. That's why Kidd had to experiment, why he turned to Cooper Flag in ways that weren't ideal. Because at the end of the day, the real problem starts much higher up in the front office. The man behind it all, the one whose decisions set this entire mess in motion, let's just leave it at that. The reality is, Cooper was never drafted to be a Luka Doncic-style floor general, a rookie who could run an NBA offense from day one. That was never his game in college, and it's not his game now. What Cooper was always supposed to be is a generational weapon who could create plays, handle the ball, attack the rim, catch lobs, cut screen, pop out to the three, roll to the basket. Basically, a dynamic, versatile forward who thrives in motion, spacing, and transition. But the Mavericks don't provide him the system, the spacing, or the teammates to make any of that possible consistently. And the numbers back it up. Look at his field goal attempts. The percentage of shots that are unassisted versus assisted tells the story. Compare that to players like VJ Edgecombe or Conan, who are taking mostly assisted shots in positions designed to succeed. Those players are 20 years old, entering situations where their skills are maximized, while Cooper is 18, handling a franchise in total disarray. Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey turned 19 earlier this year. Cooper is still one of the youngest players in NBA history to see this kind of pressure. Yet, despite zero spacing, constant role changes, and an impatient fan base, he's performing remarkably well. Imagine if the Mavericks actually gave him a legitimate point guard, some spacing, and shooters around him. Cooper Flag could start looking like the generational prospect scouts predicted. Instead, he's being punished for the mistakes of a front office and coaching staff that failed to build around him. Nico Harrison's decisions, and the rest of the Mavericks management, have created a situation where one of the most promising young stars in the league has to fight just to show his talent. Even in this environment, Cooper is showing flashes of brilliance that are hard to ignore. And that's why, if you made it this far, you have to appreciate not just his talent, but his resilience. The Mavericks might be a mess, but Cooper Flag, he's a player already defying the odds.